Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nat 2.
The serious
D&D
serious
podcast.
Episode.
Listen, I know you and I and me are sick of the freaking Matthew Mercer and Brennan, the other guy, and all them folks who like to do funny D&D podcasts, okay? This is serious business.
This is serious business. If you laugh, you get killed. We send somebody to your house.
We send someone to you. You're going to get swatted if you laugh. The FBI are on their way.
We have all of your locations.
Yeah, if I was like a snarky, like, reviewer of D&D podcasts, and I heard them say that in like a D&D podcast, and they were just like, we send somebody, we swat you, if you laugh, I would be like, there's no threat of that happening. There's no threat why would you think that I would ever laugh listening to you?
Oh.
So now, now I'm saying it.
I see.
Now I'm saying it now. So
I thought you were implying that if you were a snarky D&D podcast reviewer, that you were just strong. I could never get swatted because
also, like, that is not, I feel like well-armed, not, like, strong. I could bench press the whole SWAT team.
They'll never get the door open if I just hold it closed.
Like, juggling SWAT team. Guns can't pierce my door. I'm too strong. Duh. We're gonna start now. Are you ready for this? Do you think that's 20% different from Space Jam, so that we could keep it in the... It's only gotta be 20%. If out of 10 notes, every second note is different. 20%.
Man.
Yeah. Spoos Jam. Space Jam. Spoos Jam.
That sounds
You remember when
disgusting.
Bugs Bunny went to Spoos and played basketball? Anyway.
Because basketball is copyrighted. The sport of basketball.
You gotta, every time you
play at the park, you gotta pay royalties.
You gotta Venmo the Mayans. I don't know who played basketball. You gotta Venmo those guys from, like, in the road to El Dorado. You know what I'm talking about? Where there's like a circle and they gotta get a ball through a circle. Yeah. That's probably where were they? El Dorado? That's a fake city. What was it based off of?
It was like Mayans or Aztecs.
What, South America?
Yeah.
You gotta Venmo Brazil every time you want to basketball.
I thought that the whole thing was that they like went back in time on accident and they found like a lost civilization.
I don't think that happened. I think they just found El Dorado. Oh. Yo, it's Spanish. I'm the freaking dumbest loser. As a Spanish
I just
word.
remember that a lot of people were like, wow, the main characters are hot, and then I was like, yep.
I always liked the blonde guy because I think he was stupider, and so was I.
Was he the one that fell in love with the girl, the Aztec girl, or was it the other one?
Ooh, I thought they like both fell in love with her, and it was weird. Maybe that didn't happen.
Polyamory, baby.
Polyamory. Disney was,
ahead of their time.
Yeah. Did you ever see Atlantis?
I did.
Yeah. Do you remember Kida from Atlantis?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a babe. She was cool, man. I remember then also the captain chick, she was a babe.
Yeah.
And then the Spanish girl. And all the guys were lame.
No.
You like the mole guy? You like the mole guy? You like
the mole guy?
Yeah, there was a mole guy. He liked dirt. They dug in the ground. He was the mole guy.
I like the one that had the glasses and the orange hair, the main guy.
Oh, the main guy? He's like a soy boy, dude. He's like a freaking
he's
beta male.
He's the type of guy that if he were Japanese, he would say boku.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking for a boku. In a world of ores. I'm looking for a boku, dude. Yeah, he was cool. He was a linguist too, and I was always like, I want to do that. And then no, you don't, as it turns out. because then you get to eat textbooks.
Yeah. Oh, also, one of the episodes, I don't remember which it was. I was playing with some dice in my hand. I'm gonna go back in time and strangle myself because you can hear it, and
I'm gonna get a water gun so I can every time I shoot you with a water gun. Bad
nervous.
Girl.
It was like emotional scene. I was like, oh my god, he's in his mask, and and like playing with it in my hand, being like, what is going on? And then I hear it while I'm editing. I'm like,
I was every time you talked, I tried to as quietly drink a sip of boba tea as I could. Well,
and I edited
that was me doing that. Sometimes I could hear me chewing it also, like while I was talking. And
Lessons
I was like,
learned. Yeah. Keep dice out of your hands and don't drink.
We ate first this time.
Yeah.
Because it's a learning robot. Do you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's blackness all around you. Void. Okay, complete darkness.
All right.
Everything sort of fades like gauzy white curtains into it's like starts just at kind of like white light, and then splotches of color appear.
Okay.
There's a big purple and red splotch in the middle, and a bunch of like different color splotches all around you. And as everything kind of pulls into focus, you realize as you look down at your hands, you might be thinking to yourself, Etheod or Tavumile?
Yeah.
And the answer I would give you is, don't worry about that.
Okay.
And at the head of the table, a table kind of materializes into view. You're kind of staring at it. It's got like a beautiful table runner.
All right.
And it's long. It's a big rectangular table, and you see that there is people completely up and down the entire table. Okay. Like you can't tell how many because it's like all wibbly wobbly things are like kind of like shimmering at the edges.
Okay.
So you can't. There's just like it seems like it goes on forever. And at the head of the table is King Rexus Talenti.
Whoa.
Tenbra Talenti's father. And as these people come into view, you realize that at the table is sitting the king's advisors, magistrates from neighboring clans. You see high elves, you see some dwarves, you even see some humans, which you recognize all these different clans. You see Eladrin, mostly Autumn Eladrin, because that's the Talentis. And you know where you are. You know that you are in Talenti Castle. And you know that this is a political meeting.
Okay.
These you didn't know until now. Like it just kind of dropped into your head as you gain awareness.
Okay.
And you're looking at your hands, and they look completely unremarkable to you. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to describe them. Because you, as this character, would not need them described to you.
Okay.
So, there's that. And you can tell, like I said, it's going to be a political meeting. And at the beginning of political meetings, you know this to be true. There must be there's a ceremony to begin these meetings. And basically what it consists of is a large bowl of tea is passed around. It's not enormous, like giant, but it is large enough that everyone at the table could have a sip.
Okay.
And it starts from the king. The king kind of turns the design out to the rest of the table. He brings it to his lips, and he takes a sip of the tea. And he's going to put it down, and one of his, footmen, whatever, picks it up and is going to pass it to his immediate right. And you know that basically this is a show of mutual trust for all of the participants.
Okay.
To each have a sip of this tea, because the idea is
could be poison.
It could be poison. Yeah, we all trust each other, and that's why the king is going to drink first.
Okay.
He's accepting the most risk is the idea behind the ceremony. So, the each magistrate, advisor, noble from all these different clans, they pick up the tea bowl, they turn the design out, they take a sip of the tea, and then they pass it on. And you're sort of plaintively watching this take place because there's nothing interesting about it. It just has to happen. But across from you is a Weftway advisor, High Elf advisor, who you have never had any personal interactions with before. And although he is sitting extremely austerely, as is everybody, just sort of like sitting hands in lap, not moving, just staring straight ahead, is bleeding from his face.
All right.
And in several places. But it appears that is because he has some sort of skin issue, like a rash type affair. And you can see, because every once in a while his like eyes get kind of little, and then he like scrunches his nose, and you kind of barely hear something that he is coughing and like trying to make it not evident.
Okay.
The only thing that you know about this advisor is that, obviously, other than he's a high elf, and the things you can see about him is that his name is Rodin. And that's all you know.
Okay.
And so the cup passes from one hand to the next, all the way down the table. And finally, Rodin takes the cup in his hands. And you can see from his hands that the rash or whatever it is also on his hands. It is actually worse on his hands. And he picks up the bowl, and he takes a sip, and as he pulls the cup away from his face, you can see in the tea, because it's a sort of white glazed bowl on the inside, and it's got like a multicolory brown, kind of like oil spill looking glaze on the outside. And the tea is a very light green tea. As he pulls the cup away, you can see blood from his face, from this rash in the bowl.
Okay.
Where it touched like his open wounds.
Yeah.
And you can tell also, well, actually roll a insight check.
Okay. What am I adding to this?
Nothing. We'll just do flat.
Okay. 15.
You can see that he also realizes that this has happened.
Yeah.
And although his face is red, you can tell that he is blushing about it.
Okay.
You know, like, and his ears are kind of getting red at the tips. So, like, not super jazzed about the fact that this has happened.
Yeah.
And everyone has, before him, because this is done regularly when these meetings take place, everyone is just sort of like, you know, take one, pass it down style, like, this is moving relatively quickly. He takes a short pause to, presumably, to be like, great, and then sort of passes the cup to the next person.
Yeah.
As the cup passes into the hands of the next person, you can see where before the cup was sort of accepted into the next person's hands just as you would accept any object.
Yeah. Now
it is sort of like people are trying to touch the least amount of it with their hands as they possibly can.
Okay.
And he's sort of holding it like you think he's literally about to drop it. That's how little he's touching it. But he's also sort of trying to hide it. The fact that he's doing that, sort of just looks over slightly and like nods a bit, and he passes the cup along without taking a sip.
Okay.
The cup goes to the next person's hand, and you can see people are sort of like side-eyeing the king to be like, "Are you mad about that?" Like, just sort of like, "Is this fine that this is happening?" And the king is sort of like, was staring straight ahead in this kind of direction and just sort of like puts his head down just a little bit, as though to be like, okay, you know, okay, we should have thought this through, mayhap. So the cup goes from hand to hand. It goes to the next person's hand. He also doesn't take a sip. Goes to the next person's hand. Passes on. Nobody takes a sip. And roll a perception check.
Okay.
Just flat, because,
13.
You can see that Rodin is really, really embarrassed about it. Like, you can, it's not even, like, he's trying to look chill and fine.
Yeah.
But you can tell that he is, like fully face red, like, and he's, like, probably about 40 years old, so it's not like some kid or something. Yeah. He's like, I am a gentleman, and this is the worst thing that could happen. But he's still kind of, like, coughing and looking generally just like he wishes the ground would open up and swallow him.
Yeah.
And so the cup passes from hand to hand. You're kind of looking sort of down in front of you, and all of a sudden, the cup reaches you.
Okay.
What do you do?
Can I make, like, an insight check as to why people don't even want to touch the outside of the cup? Like, is it because they know that, like, his thing is contagious? Or if it's, like, just because they're grossed out?
Roll history, and you're gonna add a +4.
Okay. 18.
Oh, okay. You are not well versed in ailments.
Yeah.
And this is a bunch of lay people as far as medical things are concerned.
Yeah.
At least as far as you know. So you know that there is a chance it could be contagious.
Okay.
But you also know that there's a good chance that the people around the table have absolutely no idea whether it's contagious or not and are reacting out of sort of fear of the unknown or in self-preservation or because they're grossed out, something in that department. Yeah. It's not like you are pretty sure that there's no one here who is certain that it's something that could even be passed along.
Okay.
So
I think that can I look at the guy that can I look at Rodin?
Yeah.
And as I'm, like, holding the cup in my hand, I feel like I'm not holding it the way that everybody else was. I think I'm, like, actually holding it like you would. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to look at him just to see if I can gain anything from his face being, like, concerned that I'm touching it properly or not.
Okay. So as you look at him, I'll tell you what he looks like, and then you can roll if you want.
Okay.
As you look at him, his eyes are completely shut. His head is pointed at your head just because you're across each other in the thing. And you can see that he is sweating.
Okay.
Yeah. Roll a luck check, just a flat D20.
Okay. 2.
Okay, you're unlucky.
All right. Well, I think that I am just going to go for it, and I take a sip and I pass it to the next person.
Okay. So doing all of these things took a minute.
Yeah.
So now everyone is looking at you, for sure, except for Rodin, whose eyes are shut. The sound of your slurp, is it like a I'm going to imbibe a molecule, or is it like I am going to take the regular sip, or do you have more than you would
I think
typically?
Just the regular.
Okay, just like a
Yep.
Cool. So you take a sip. The sound of that echoes throughout the entire room as everyone is looking at you. Rodin's eyes, this is an audio medium, you can't see the face I'm making, but he looks at you like shocked. Like shocked and amused isn't the word I'm looking for. Shocked and I'll make you roll for it.
Okay.
Roll insight.
19.
He is touched.
Okay.
Like
that makes me feel relieved. And that he's not like, you're going to be like me.
Yeah, no. He looks touched in a way that 40-year-old men don't typically.
Yeah.
So you can tell that this is a genuine reaction to your Haven't done that. And what do you do now?
I just pass it on to the next person.
All right. And as you do that, the whole vision of the table, the cup, everyone starts fading into darkness. And the only thing that is left is Rodin staring at you unflinchingly with shock and gratitude kind of mixed on his face.
Okay.
And it swirls into nothing, and then it's completely gone.
All right.
So we pop back to Waypoint Town.
What?
We pop back to Waypoint Town.
I don't get to know who I was.
You listen. You just gotta go on a journey with me. You pop back to Waypoint Town.
Yep.
So right now we are hanging out with Fingers and Etheod outside the liquor store.
Heck yeah.
And Fingers has just expressed to Etheod that he needs to see what Etheod can do as a thief in terms of basically breaking into this place, getting some clues that perhaps Tavumile was there if you're into that. Mm-hmm. But that's up to you whether you do that or not. But it's mostly breaking in, stealing something. That's the idea.
Okay.
So, yeah. So he's kind of like, listen, I'll be in once you go in.
Right.
I'll be in a little bit after you go in because I gotta write notes for the big guy so he can assess your ability.
Notes about me?
Yeah, and he takes out like a quill pen that is, he would have on him and a piece of parchment. Mm-hmm. And you can see from the light shining, the like dusk light shining through the parchment that there are like lines that are like, oh, this is just a form he's filling out. Oh. That has stuff like how long it took you.
Okay.
How confident, things like that. He's going to assess your thieving performance. So he takes those out. He takes a peek at this spot where these two buildings just sort of like are kind of leaning like that, and there's like a spot in between them that you can see daylight, and through that daylight is the clock tower. The sundial tower, and he looks up at it and is just like he's gonna time you and stuff, and he's like, yeah, so you have to steal something at least. I mean, we can really go about that, at any point in this process.
But why are we making your personal business my test?
Well, we might as well do both things at once. Might and as well we. I mean, we don't have all night, so we kind of get a move on a little bit. But don't worry, because if you screw up, it's fine. I'm here, so I can help you.
Right. If I screw up, does that mean that I'm not part of the guild?
No. It just means that your training period is going to be increased, which is fine because, you're in it for life. And he like gives you like a shoulder tap punch thing. Right. But if you want, I mean, I know you don't know her. Right. But if you were interested in looking for clues, you could get a head start on that while I write these notes. If not, you could just steal something, whatever, and then I'll be in to look for clues. Only thing you got to keep in mind, and he kind of gets up to you and like starts like taking the feather of the quill pen and like tickling your nose with it. You just gotta make sure, just because the ball is on, right, and businesses are closed, he's like looking around, everything's pretty much dim and being packed up, doesn't mean that it's empty in there necessarily. So don't go, making a whole bunch of noise and stuff, because then...
Do you think that I'm an idiot?
Well, I just listen, I'm just trying to make this go
you're doing
smoothly.
A whole lot of talking. Why don't I just go and do it?
All right, well, I'm, fine. Then I'm not going to give you the other piece of advice.
That's
and you're
fine.
just going to
have to... And I get up and I start walking.
You hear his voice get quieter as you walk away, and he's like, I get no respect. And he's going to kind of like behind these barrels that you were hanging out with before. So in this town, like we talked about before, the thief gets in trouble for stealing, even though they were hired by someone specifically. So, but because of the sort of nature, the sort of cowboy nature of Waypoint Town in this system, just because there are cops around, like if there are cops around, you're toast.
Yeah.
If a cop sees you, you're in trouble. But if a citizen sees you, that doesn't necessarily mean he or she will call over the cops.
Okay.
I will roll to see if they do. I'm going to roll to see if it's a cop or a citizen, and then I'm going to roll to see if they will call for the cops if they're a citizen.
Okay.
So you may have this may turn into Etheod and Fingers escape from the police.
Okay, well, I'm going to walk up to the building with stealth. So I'm going to roll for that.
Stealthing up. Yep, go for it.
Not natural 20.
Okay. That you're like the shadows are kind of like starting to lean farther away from the building. So you step into one and you become the freaking shadow. They're sort of people kind of like piddling around doing nothing at all important, closing up shop and stuff, but there's no way that they see you, and you know that. Okay. You have confidence of that.
Cool. And then I'm going to make a, I guess, perception check onto what I think would be the best point of entry.
Okay.
7.
Okay. I'll give you the options.
Okay.
So instead of telling you the best one, I'll just tell you what they are. It has several windows. The windows are darkened, not in that they are like tinted, but they have like green and dark purple velvet curtains in front of them that are drawn.
Okay.
They're all locked, as you would imagine, and you can see that because the lock is on the inside. So you can see from the outside the lock, which is locked.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check and see. I'll roll to see if they're all locked. Okay, yes, they are all locked. All the ones that you can see are locked. So that's option 1. You could try and break a window. That's something you could do, or something else with a window I haven't thought of. Front door. You can not see this from the outside. The door has a handle and a lock. Okay. If you recall from coming in here before, as Tavumile, there are many, many, many locks. But these are all locks that are they're inside locks. Yeah. So that would be something that well, actually, let me freaking roll to see if you can access them from the outside. Okay. You can access them from the outside. Okay. So you can see that there are locks, and they look like door locks. And we'll put it this way, because Tavumile didn't, not that she would have necessarily clocked that they were door locks, but she didn't, because the unlocking of them was a surprise to her. Yeah. I'll say that they are sort of hidden in plain sight. So they don't necessarily look like they could be locks. Yeah. But they are. And go ahead and roll perception to see if you would recognize that.
8.
Okay, you don't recognize that. So you think there's one lock on that door. So there's that front door. To your knowledge, you would only have to unlock one lock. And then there's a roof with a chimney, which you're standing on the ground. So all you know is that there's a roof with a chimney on it. Okay.
Do I see any smoke coming out of the chimney?
No. Okay.
Can I roll something to assess how hard it would be to get onto the roof?
I'm not, yeah, sure. Perception then.
Okay. 3.
Okay. There are many ways you could get on the roof, that it would involve incredible feats of strength. Okay. You don't see anything that's like, a freaking, plank of wood on some bricks. That's just so that you would be able to. But you could you could get up there with a really nice acrobatics or athletics check.
Okay. I think I'm going to attempt that. Try to get up there with like some kind of acrobatics thing, like run to the other side of the wall, hop off of it, that kind of thing.
Okay, I see. Like Mario off the wall. Yeah, okay. So first I want you to roll stealth, and then I want you to roll, we'll call this, I feel like, are you literally just jumping like up from, like Z jumping up from wall to wall? Okay, I'm calling that 100% athletics.
Okay, what?
You need friggin' you need legs for that, dude. You need quads.
Okay, stealth is 24.
Jeez, okay, you look like a black Flash.
And then you said athletics?
Yeah, athletics is
12.
All right, so we're going to say that you do 3 really good ones, and then you go to do the next one and just, you can't get it together. You slam your body against the wall. I'm not going to make you take damage. Okay. It's like the roll wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You just can't get to the top. You kind of like slam your body against the wall and use the friction of yourself sliding down it to kind of break your fall. But I'm going to roll to see if you make loud noise.
Okay.
You do.
Oh.
So you land on an open trash can. And as you kind of slide down, it just goes clank, 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 clank. So let's see if anybody noticed. Nobody noticed. So magically,
thank God.
We'll say at that moment, a fruit vendor walked by and was like, strawberries, cantaloupes. Yeah, like they everything was covered up by him saying that. So,
man, I really need to buy some of the products. All right, well, I think I'm gonna try to unlock one of the windows. Okay. I have thieves' tools and a burglar's pack.
Gotcha. So the thing about the windows is that the locks are on the inside of the window.
There's a way to unlock windows that have a lock on the inside. Okay. We could Google that.
We don't need to do that. This is what we'll do. I'll have you roll a flat. I'll have you roll a luck check with no pluses. The DC is going to be but you've done this before, a 15. Oof. So if you can get higher than a 15, then you know of a way to unlock these windows from the outside. Okay. There we go. That's what we'll do.
Come on, baby. 6.
Okay, you are mystified. You have no idea.
I think he's just like staring at it. He just kind of looks around. Can he make a perception check as to like, is there anything that he can throw?
Well, I will say this. While you are thinking and doing these things, Fruit Man is still walking through the area. So I'll say you have 2 more kind of opportunities to do something that might be a little bit loud. Okay. He's just like, he doesn't say that. Monica said that. Apples. Yeah. Pears. Apples and pears. Ha ha.
Oh, wait, yeah, just keep on yelling. Just keep on yelling, and he smashes the window.
Oh, snap. You're just going to smash it with your arm?
Yep. Elbow.
Okay.
Padded with
I'm gonna roll.
Armor.
I'll roll damage to see how.
I might die.
I will let you rethink this because you didn't know I was gonna make you roll damage. Do you want to throw something? There's lots of stuff you could throw.
I'll throw something.
Okay, there's a brick next to your foot that you could throw. No, I'll shatter my arm and slice it up. Cool.
Bleed out and die.
And die right here. Fingers is like, well. All right, I guess we kind of did kill 2 birds with one. At least one bird died. Okay, cool. So you're gonna throw this brick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna immediately
roll athletics.
Okay. God damn! Who knew this would be that hard?
What, breaking into someplace?
3.
Okay, the brick. You throw it with your wimpy twig arms, your wimpy twig tiefling arms, and it bounces off the glass window and back onto the ground.
All right.
You have 1 more shot to throw it while homie is yelling fruits if you want to try.
Let me check something real quick.
Oh, okay, you gonna thief it up? Get real thiefy up in here?
Listen, guys, I'm level 1.
Not a lot I can do, me, the guy.
Oh, wait. Fuck. Never mind.
What was that?
I was reading Thaumaturgy, and I read freaking you instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut, and I was like, I could do that, and then I was like, oh, unlocked.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna try to break it again.
Okay.
I dejectedly pick up the brick.
Yeah.
Freaking 10.
Okay, yeah. You throw the brick through. What window do you do this on? There are 2 in the front and 2 on each side.
One of the ones on the side.
Okay, one of the ones on the side. Cool. The sound is largely covered up by fruit vendor man yelling, but we're gonna see how much of it is covered up by it. Okay, it's not that covered up by it. So
I'm gonna use Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And it says you create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of arisen, blah blah blah, like examples.
Right.
Can I do that to try and make even more noise to cover this up?
Okay, so I'll tell you what, basically, right as you throw this brick, you hear the end of the fruit that the guy was about to yell. So he's like, honeydew melon, and while he says, the brick makes contact. You have that second to do something about it.
I'm gonna, like far from me, where that guy is, I'm just gonna make it like a really loud sound, somebody being like, hey, I would like some. Can I have some?
Sweet. Cool. Like louder than the guy yelling. Sick. The guy's like so loud, and the guy's like, I would like to buy some fruit, please. And the guy's like, okay, cool. So you do that just as... So completely covering up the sound of freaking glass exploding on the inside of the liquor store. Fruit man gets called over by a customer that doesn't exist. So you can't see what's going on from where you are.
Yeah.
But you can hear the guy go, oh yes sir, you might have a future in fruit sales wherever you are. And so he's like trying to get the guy the transaction. What do you do then next?
I'm gonna make a perception check to make sure that I don't hear anyone inside of the place, because of what Finger said, being like,
okay, I'm gonna roll something as well. Okay. What'd you roll?
6.
You rolled a 6?
Yeah.
Okay. You, your heart is beating so fast in your ears, you stick your kind of head up in there to see.
Yeah.
And what you hear is gudum, 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 gudum of your own heart beating. You have no idea. It doesn't, like, from your cursory glance, you don't see anybody.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stealth on in there. I'm going to crawl through the window to try to stealth through.
Okay.
A nat 20.
Okay, so you peek in real quick. You don't see or hear anybody or whatever. You kind of like like an eel. You like slither across the ground like doing the worm. You slither up the side of the building, and then you just like, and the building like swallows you into it. This open thing, and there are these curtains that got kind of like filled with glass when you threw the brick, and then the brick kind of got caught in the curtains, so they're sort of slightly pulled to one side. So you can even come into the liquor store without messing with the curtains. Like those don't even blow at all, because you can just kind of like right inside. That's a good noise. Cool. So you get in the room, you're stealth up, you're doing like the Kronk against the wall, and you hear I guess someone broke a window. Hello in here. Hello. I'm gonna roll to see if you can see this secret mystery person. You are behind something hiding, and so you cannot see this secret mystery person who we don't know who it is.
Okay.
What he is doing. You just hear his voice kind of moving in and out of distance to you, kind of going, okay, I got kung fu. Okay, when I see him, I'm gonna punch him just like Galen taught me. I wish he was here. Oh, okay, are you under here? You hear something like lift up, and he's like, okay, not in there. Okay, are you over here?
I'm gonna try to wait until he's like away from me, like what I hear his voice a little bit
get
further.
Quieter, yeah,
and then try to find a better spot to be, like hidden, rather than just behind the curtain or wherever the heck I am.
Okay, define better spot. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, can I see any part of this room? Or am I not able to see anything?
You cannot see Thalen, but you can see some other parts. You could see the first thing that he checked, but you could only see him like kind of like lift up something. You couldn't tell what it was and then put it back down. It didn't sound it was kind of like clanky clacky, so it could have been like the lid to a pot or something like that. Yeah, like a flower pot, or some kind of anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it dark in here or is it lit up?
It is dark.
Okay.
You can see a shadow moving, so presumably Thalen has some sort of candle or something while he's looking.
Okay. I think that does he, that would be a dumb question. I was going to say, does he realize that he, like, that person works here, or that he's just, like, maybe, like, a guard or something?
Does Etheod... Well, you can roll insight, and the DC will be, like 4, because you're, like, putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, 16.
You, in your brain, you say to yourself, why would he be in here if he wasn't supposed to be in here?
Okay. I think in his head he's like, well, if we're going to get information out of anyone, I mean, we might as well just ask the source. And I think that he's going to try to sneak up behind him and grapple him, and just to be like, I'm going to ask him questions.
Okay. So roll stealth.
All right.
You're going to roll it against his passive perception.
Okay. 9.
Okay. Meets it, beats it. You sneak up behind him.
Damn, man.
You sneak up by... He's like a little wimpy, dimpy liquor store boy. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
You...
I'm rolling like these 20 stealth checks.
Yeah, and then 9. You're like... As you kind of like get out of your hiding spot, trying to be like, I'm gonna get this freaking guy, you slip a little bit, and your you slip on some of the velvet freaking curtain, and your foot slips, and you kind of like go down heavier than you would have meant to on one knee, just like a thud noise. But right as you do that, Thalen does another like, "Are you in here?" It's like perfectly timed, and so it fully covers up. And the sound of the thing he just opened is so loud that it covers up your noises. So that you're able to you're kind of like creeping up behind him. Okay, so that was his passive perception. He didn't hear you. I'm going to roll luck just to see if the next place he was going would be in your direction. Okay. It'll be 50-50. As luck would have it.
Oh, fuck.
For no reason at all in particular, there's no method to his madness whatsoever. He does an about face from where he is, just incidentally, and is face to face with a spooky, all dressed in black dude, yo.
Yeah.
I'll let you try and do something before he can react, because he wouldn't have time to react that fast anyway. All that's facing you is him, and he has a candle.
Okay.
So
can I try to brighten the candle so much that it kind of, like, when you get a flashlight in your eyes and
that
you can't see,
blinds him?
Yeah.
Do you have a thing that would
thaumaturgy
let you do that? Oh, thaumaturgy? Yeah. Is it a cantrip or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that's something that would let you do?
Mm-hmm. It says, you cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute.
I'm going to say that it wouldn't let you brighten them so much that it would fully blind him.
Okay.
But it would distract him.
Yeah.
So I'll say if you do that, you can have another action.
Okay.
But
could it distract him enough that I can get advantage trying to grapple him right now?
Okay, yeah. So if you do that, I'll give you advantage on the grapple check.
Sweet.
Since that's what I was gonna say, that it's fully gonna reveal your position. But if you're gonna try and do this anyway, then like, who cares at all?
And I want the grappling to be like, I get his arms, like, arms behind the back, but also like a hand over his mouth so he can't scream, being like,
Okay, I'll say with a roll better than, well, let's see. You're going to roll with advantage. So we'll say the first thing that happens is you use thaumaturgy to make the light real bright. Yeah. So he goes, he was already like, what the heck? Oh, now I can't freaking see anything. Yeah. So now he's like, my beautiful eyes, like he's freaking out about not being able to see anything. So I'm going to say that you're going to roll. Well, what do you roll for a grapple check? Do you roll against their athletics?
Yes.
I'm really good at being a DM. Okay, cool. So it's contested athletics check. Oh, good.
Don't worry too hard.
Well, you neither. Cool. And so we'll say if you, let me think of how I can word this. If you roll, more than 5 over his roll, then you can get a hand over his mouth.
Okay.
Cool.
Sweet.
Oh, jeez.
What did
you roll?
15.
Tell me what you rolled. Okay, he rolled an unnat 1. He rolled a 2 and he has a minus 1. Okay, cool. So, I will let you do an additional thing that you would like to do with him as you grapple him.
Okay. Can I... Is there any way that I can, restrain him at all? So that I don't just have to be holding on to him this whole time?
You have a thieves' tools. Is rope in thieves' tools?
I also have a burglar's pack.
Okay, I feel like you need rope to burgle with. I will say that you can, in one fell swoop with your mermaid magic. Yeah, you can put one hand. So this is what happens. Yeah. Flame go, ha! He go, ah, my eyes. He's kind of like doing the I'm groping at them with no kind of heading and no idea why, just because eyes. And so as he does that, you are gonna slide your arm kind of across his face and mouth with your whole arm. So it's like, for the jiu-jitsu folks, you're like rear naked choking his face. You're gonna pull his head to the side so he can't even see you. Okay. Like you were a black blob in front of him and then bright, and now he's just back. He doesn't know why. So you're pulling his head to the side, and with the other hand, when you go to pull him, he pulls his hands away from his eyes to try and break his fall. Yeah. So his arms are at his side. You're gonna take your other hand and you're just gonna like a bunch of rope around his arms, and he is so freaking weenie baby about it that he just sort of is too freaked out to do anything about it. So so you have your arm around his mouth, his head to the side. He's tied up with a rope in at least the arms. We'll say that's all you got is both of his arms. He's sitting on the ground. His head is pulled to the side, and your mouth is inches from his ear.
Okay. And I'm going to say, look, I don't want to hurt you. But if you... listen to me. I'm sorry. Don't cry. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay. Look, I'll if
you can feel his hot tears on your arm.
I'm not going to hurt you at all, I promise. I don't kill people, I never have. Look, if you chill out, I will take my hand away from your mouth, and then we can have a conversation. No, I just said that. Are you not listening?
No.
Okay. Are you going to scream if I put my hand away from your mouth?
Will he scream?
Will you scream?
Will he scream?
I need you to answer me before I do this.
No.
Are you lying? Why are you taking so long to answer?
He's making sad noises. You're gonna have to take a chance, pal.
All right.
Okay.
If I do this and you scream, you're getting something shoved in your mouth. That's the end of that. So, take a deep breath. Oh, that feels kind of gross. All right. And I slowly take my hand away from his mouth. Okay, he's gonna be chill. Great.
What's happening? I just want you to know that I did a 50-50 roll, and 10 and lower was he wasn't gonna scream, and 11 and up was he was, and he rolled an 8. So there's that. He's just like,
Great.
Can I talk? Is that okay? Is that okay?
I mean, you're already talking. I don't know what you want.
I guess you're right.
Look, what's your name?
I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm already in your house business. I don't really know. I mean, you're kind of at my disposal. I'm not going to hurt you. Don't get that twisted. Sorry, that was a very harsh way of saying that you might just want to listen to me.
So what did you come here to do?
Look, I'm having a test of some sort, and it just happened to be this place. But you just happen to be unlucky. Honestly.
A test?
Yes.
Sort of a test involves breaking a window.
Can you use your brain at all? Did you see me?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit addled at the moment because I've just been attacked in my own...
Hey, keep your voice down. I think that freaking Etheod is like thinking back to Fingers and how he was like being treated before he was like realized who Fingers was. He's like, I'm gonna channel that.
I got you. All right.
Look, you might just be unlucky. All right. You might have met somebody that maybe you should not have met. I don't know. I don't really know anything. I've just got kind of roped into this. Do you know what is her name again?
Let's roll to see if you can remember. We'll do like your name's kind of hard, so we'll say you have to roll 10 or higher to see if you remember.
All right, is this a history check or?
Yeah, we'll say history.
Okay, nat 20.
You remember every luscious consonant. Your mouth perfectly, pronounces every vowel.
Do you remember Tavumile Fenra? Do you know who that is? She was here, presumably.
No, I can't say that I do.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be opposed with something. I wonder what that could be.
21.
You rolled a nat 1.
Thalen is a little soy boy.
Thalen's a little punk baby, dude. Okay, so I have plus 0. I just want to see if he had a minus to deception.
He's got a 0.
Yeah. So he's like, I can't say that I do.
I flick him on the head. Don't lie to me. Do you think...
When he says that, I can't say that I do, something falls out of his pocket.
I look at what fell out of his pocket.
It is a book. It is a book. It fell face down. It's like a green leather bound. It looks like a notebook.
I look him in the eyes. I slowly pick it up. I read what's in it. Like what is it? What kind of book is it?
It is from the front you can see that it is a day planner. What would you like to do with it?
I would like to read any events from today or tomorrow, perhaps.
Okay. So you have the day planner.
Yeah.
Okay. You open it up, and you're going to events for tomorrow or from today.
I kind of both. I think.
Okay, because you can't do anything about it. So from today, it just says like 7:30. Practice whistling. I've been really working on a vibrato with my whistle, and I really need to, and that's the only time Galen will let me do it. So it's got to be at 7:30. He wrote that all out. 8 o'clock. Have breakfast. I will have a single piece of toast with a banana mashed on top of it.
Wow. Is this actually 7:15. Your days?
He's like, yes.
Do you want me to keep reading this, or are you going to perhaps tell me the truth about stuff?
About
all right.
What? Okay,
keep reading
it. And he's like, and then so it keeps going along as the most boringest things you've ever heard. And then it says, written in with a different colored ink. Like he was using a pen that was somewhere else and he just needed a pen, so he grabbed a different pen. And it says, it has ball written on it at 7 o'clock. It's like, prepare for the ball. I put out my best, finest suit or whatever. And then it has ball. And all of those things are crossed out.
Okay.
But they're not crossed out like chicken scratch. They're crossed out with like a beautiful strike through. Like he was like practicing them before he did it. Each one. And then beneath it, it says, prepare for tomorrow's date. And then on the next page, on the next date, it says, date at Blustery Birds Cafe. That's what we're calling it, I guess. At 10:01 a.m. And it's got a heart drawn around the word date.
Who do you have a date with?
My girlfriend. He's blushing and he looks all of a sudden like he's drunk. Like, you know how when and he's just like, my girlfriend, I have one.
Right.
She's beautiful.
What does she look like?
She is a human, actually.
Hey, you know what I don't see a lot around here? Humans.
Well, yes, that's what makes her beautiful.
Yes, so, right. Do you want me to call in somebody that's a little bit scarier than I am, that may not, promise or adhere by not hurting you?
Well, what do you want me to tell you? I'm going on a date with my girlfriend. She's a human, and I'd really like to see the next day to be able to do that. So if you could please let me go. I'll give you whatever you want in the store.
I think that I'm, like, looking around.
I just want you to know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
The most expensive, the finest, the most, like, more money than you could ever dream of types of, like, rare and expensive liquors are in this place.
Yeah.
You could buy whatever you wanted, like the dopamine rush from a good heist. You don't know what it means to actually bring. I mean, the only thing that we know Fingers brought, the big guy, was a golden horse.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Etheod doesn't know that, but we know it. And the last thing that happened to him is that he got his friggin' eye blackened, presumably by the same guy.
Yeah.
So who knows what rewards you could receive if you brought him something of note.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how Etheod feels about Fingers, but Fingers is his trainer. And if he wants to be independent, that would certainly, you can put together, happen faster if you showed that you didn't need to be trained.
Yeah.
So all of these things and more could be something that he would care about.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to take one of your most expensive, well, maybe not even just one, maybe I'll take multiple of them, of the, best brand that you have here. Also, where is your, safe boxes or money boxes?
Oh, we don't have any. This is like a museum. So people, it's a free museum to all of the,
Right.
so it's not,
You're not very good at lying. I already know, look, we're not going to pretend, all right? I already know that you know who Tavumile Fenra is. You are not good at lying. I asked you if you knew who that she was, and then it immediately was like on your face. I could see it written in your eyes.
Listen, you don't seem to want to listen to me. You think that I know this girl, and I don't.
Keep your voice down.
So, if you want me to say anything, why don't you bring me proof that I would know her? How do you even know that she was in here?
Well, I mean, this can drag on a little bit longer, and I can just sit around and, maybe tie you to something so that you can't run around.
You can look wherever you want. You will find hide no hair, nor you will find. You can sit.
All right. And I take something out of my pocket and I kind of shove it in his mouth. I'm going to make sure that he can't, run away.
Okay.
Just because, his legs, I wasn't able to get.
You're going to tie his legs up now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's going to make it difficult. So it'll be opposed athletics. He has a -1.
Okay.
So we'll see if you can do something about
Finagle that.
It's finagle. Good luck.
Oh, good luck? I got 20.
A nat 20 or unnat?
Unnat.
He got a 17.
Okay.
Okay, cool. He is putting all of his little high elf friggin' strength and power into being like, you know, like when you're trying to put like a shoe on a toddler and they're just like, he's like arm man from the car dealership, but with his legs. I'm gonna say that you just like put your body across both of them. Like you just like full body slam both of them and he's like, and then you just like tie, you know, with a sock.
Yeah, like hog tie him.
Yeah, and then you just like tie him up and he is immobilized. Holy crap, dude. Anyway, so he can't say anything and he can't move and he's just kind of like in an L, representative of his current state, on the floor, looking sad, like single tear.
I just want you to know that this is completely your fault. So, yeah, whatever you have to say, I don't care. And I think that I'm going to try to see where there's like a money sort of, so like where you would cash out people. Like not a register, but like, you know what I mean, a counter or whatever.
Okay.
Where they might do that.
You see a very evident kind of like front desk register area.
I'm gonna search that for like lock boxes and stuff for cash and like, you know, that's what he's like, oh, they have, this is expensive. They probably have
like
a
that
lot of money.
general area. Okay. So are you like trying to get into the cash box? Or are you just seeing if there are lock boxes and stuff?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there are lock boxes around, and then
there is a main one that is presumably the like float cash like register area. There's several small ones that you have no idea what they could possibly contain. There's like 3 small ones around. You don't know what. Yeah, you don't have any concept of what could be in those. And then so that's pretty much that area. Some like, you know, quill pens, some papers, and then the last thing that you see is a document that has dates and names on it in front of you.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that. And read the names and dates.
Okay. So what you see here is a list of dates and then a corresponding name, a corresponding kind of list of items, presumably.
Okay.
And then a transaction amount.
Okay.
So like money that is supposed to have gone into the register. And then change that was given to the person. So
I'm gonna make a perception check to see if I see Tavumile's name on it or anything that seems off from today.
Okay.
20. Not nat.
Holy crap. Okay, so you are looking at this thing. Tavumile's name is not anywhere on the ledger. The only name that jumps out to you is nearing the bottom of the list of ones for today.
Okay.
There are 2 strike-throughs on the amount paid and the change given back. On the rest of them, there are like dollar amounts.
Yeah.
And only there is it just 2 lines, and those 2 lines are next to a Lady Gwynth.
Okay. And can I see what was bought?
Yes, it's like a fancy schmancy alcohol, and you can roll to see if that means anything to you. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Is it
roll,
insight?
Insight, yeah.
13.
Okay, so you know that she was there to get a gift for, and you remember Fingers telling you she was there to get a gift for when she goes to see Timber Talenti, and it's supposed to be a fancy schmancy bottle of alcohol. And that is, I mean, on the other hand, all of the other items on the list are fancy schmancy bottles of alcohol because this is a liquor store. But you also know that because you don't know liquor or alcohol or anything, you get the impression that there's nothing like that. This is obviously a very schmancy bottle, but there's nothing like weird about it. Of course, she would be buying the most expensive, one if that was what like she would have come here to do. Yeah. So it basically what you see is a lady's name, a bottle of alcohol that is very fine, and then 2 strike-throughs. Okay. But you don't have any reason to believe that has any connection to Tavumile.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't know what the strike-throughs mean.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to get into the main lockbox, but then also the 3 small ones.
Okay. Which one are you going to try and do first?
I'll do the main one first.
I will say, this is a business establishment. The keys might be in the establishment.
That's true.
Yeah, just saying.
I'm going to search Thalen real quick.
Okay, give him a quick friggin' pat
Yeah,
down.
see if he has keys.
Okay, do it.
Would that be investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. 9.
You kind of give him like a pat down, and he's not about it, and he's just wiggling and wriggling around. But he's just kind of like.
I'm gonna take the thing out of his mouth real quick.
Blah.
Where are the keys?
The keys to what?
The lock boxes.
Oh, look, I'm going to tell you what makes you think that I'm Cool.
I'm gonna search around that area and then try and just like walk around and see if I can see keys anywhere.
Okay. Just like around the general kind of like register and stuff.
Yeah,
area.
like I'm gonna look around there, and then if I can't find any there, I'm gonna see if they're like anywhere else in the store.
Okay. So you can roll perception.
Okay. 6.
You're kind of like kind of generally looking around, like rushing. You don't see a whole lot of anything that would indicate to you even a place that a key could go, like a little hook or something that you would put a key in here. You see no key around. Yeah. What a good roll. Basically, nothing occurs to you. You're just like, okay, I don't see anything that a key could live in, and I don't see a key, so...
Okay. Well, then I am going to just try to lockpick them.
Okay.
I do have thieves' tools, so that gives me advantage.
Okay. And what one are you going to start with?
I'll do the big one first.
Okay.
And I am proficient in it, so I think that I think it's sleight of hand, and then I add my proficiency bonus.
So sleight of hand plus proficiency.
Okay.
Cool.
With advantage to the roll, or no?
I don't see advantage.
Okay. Then we shall do it without.
Cool.
So I'm adding 7 to this roll. 14 for the first one.
You do not get in. You, click it. You feel like you're getting close, and then it just doesn't, you just have screwed something up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try. I'm just, going to go down the line, just being like, maybe one of these is freaking easy.
Okay.
Yeah. 11 for one.
Click.
23 for another one.
That one opens, so you turn, and that's just one of the lockboxes.
Mm-hmm.
You turn, and what is inside is several rings.
Okay.
That are just bejeweled and pretty and fine. These maybe would belong to someone who lives here, works here. It's not like something that is sold here.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Okay, he'll take those.
All of them? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Just puts them in his pocket.
Dig it.
And then this is the last one?
Yep.
Okay. 25.
Okay, so you open it real hard, and I'm going to roll for this one. This one is empty. This is super empty, like a fart comes out of the box.
Alright. Perhaps fingers can open these other ones. I look back over to Thalen. I go and I take out his thing. Look, are you sure that you don't want to tell me the truth about anything? Because it's not like I'm not going to hurt you, and it's not like I'm looking for this person to hurt them. I'm looking for this person because apparently she was supposed to go home and she doesn't know anything about the city, and so then she might be in danger. So,
okay.
Roll in a row.
Thalen goes, fine, I'll tell you. Look, I think if it's the girl that I am thinking that I think it could be, she did come in here, but she, to my knowledge, she left, and the next place she was going to go was home. That's all I know.
Who was she here with anyone?
Yes, she was here with, so our store has a rule that you can't shop here unless you've shopped here before.
Jesus.
You have to be, what?
That's just...
Who's Jesus? You have to be invited. So she had a nice man with her, a nice gentleman, and after
A
they...
man?
Yes.
She had a man with her.
Yes, it was a nice
Did she
nobleman.
know this man?
I don't know. You act like she's my sister or something. I'm just working. I'm just a shop clerk.
What did she look like?
She was oh crap. She was beautiful. She looked like springtime.
All right, that is her.
Any boy would be lucky to be able to go.
Oh, is this who you're having a date with?
What?
All right. So she was here. She was here with a man. He was with a nobleman.
Yes.
What did this person look like?
He was an elf, a high elf, and he looked like a stately. It was Lord Cunningham. He was with.
Right. Lord Cunningham. Can I go check the?
Ledger to see.
Yeah, to see if that name
Sure.
is on there.
Yeah.
Is it
it's
on there?
It's super not on there. In no way is it on there.
Why are you admitting to me that you saw Tavumile, that she's this most beautiful person that you saw, but then you're lying to me about where she was or who she's with?
Is it not obvious to you? He's looking at you like you are an idiot. He's like, you are a man dressed in black here you've hog-tied me.
Right.
And what am I thinking you're going to do to that poor girl when you find her?
Return her home to her mum.
Oh, I'll bet you'll do whatever it is that nasty, nasty men do to you lovely young ladies.
Right. So, I mean, I'm in a tough situation here, right? I'm going to be taking some of your stuff, and I know that is a hit on your pride because you were left here, and Galen, from what I heard you saying, whoever that is, left you here. So I know that you're already going to get an earful, right? I haven't hurt you at all throughout this whole thing. If I've wanted to do something to her, wouldn't you presume that I would have no, what would you say, reservations about hurting a paper-thin boy?
I don't know what your intentions could possibly be, but if you're here to steal, regardless of whether or not you've hurt me, you've disturbed my establishment, and now I'm tied up. Just because you don't hurt her doesn't mean you're not going to do something similar. Maybe she has something that you want. What makes you think I'm going to help you find her?
Well, you kind of already did. She's not here now, but she was. And what was it that you were saying? That she was the most beautiful person, and that any person would be lucky enough to go, what, on a, and he looks at the planner, perhaps on a date at 10:01 a.m.? It seems as though this was a plan that was made relatively recently.
Listen, she is beautiful, and any boy would be lucky to go on a date with her.
Right.
But I am not going on a date with her. I'm going on a date with my human girlfriend, whom I wish I wasn't going on a date with. I would much rather go on a date with her.
All right. Well, I think that he looks around. He kind of takes a couple really fancy bottles off the
just
shelves.
Like clink, yeah, put them in his pocket.
I would, perhaps tell her that when you go on a date with her, you wouldn't want to be dating somebody that you don't genuinely want to be with. Anyways, I hope that you can get out of that at some point. And if not, perhaps Galen can help you.
Wait. You're leaving? You're going to leave me here? What if I have to go to the bathroom?
Well, that's unfortunate. You don't really help me all that much.
We can't have that. Okay, listen, I'll tell you something else, but you've got to promise me you'll untie me. In fact, untie me first, and then I'll tell you. Where would I go?
Presumably out into the street to scream about me stealing from your establishment.
They wouldn't care. Oh, the big police would come, but they'll come in the morning regardless.
Why would they only come in the morning?
Because they're all getting ready for the ball. Idiot.
Right.
I must not be from around here. I don't want to go through the bathroom in my pants.
Is it worth it what you're going to tell me?
Oh, of course.
All right. And I, untie him, but I still kind of, have him in my grip to be like, you're not going to freaking run away from here.
She left here.
Right.
She came here. She left here with a woman.
So not a nobleman.
With a woman.
Right.
And I heard that she was going to take her home next.
To her home, Tavumile's home, or to...
To Tavumile's home.
All right.
So, that is all I know about her whereabouts, and she was going to bring her back the next day for our date.
Oh, so it is.
I told you I was going to tell you something in exchange for untying me.
Well, sometimes people say stuff and then they don't really mean it. So.
I'm a man of my word.
Sure.
But that is all I know. So as far as I know, she already went home.
Right. So, if we came back here at 10:01 a.m., would she presumably be here?
I mean, I would hope so.
Right.
I would really hope so.
Man, I really need to see what this girl looks like. Everybody thinks that she's beautiful.
What do you mean, everyone?
Don't worry about it. Anyways.
What have you heard? No.
Is
she a flirt? Does she flirt with others?
I don't know who she is. All I've heard is that she's incredibly stupid, apparently.
Isn't that part of her charm?
Perhaps.
Well, who? Look, now I'm going to ask you a question. Who are you in the first place, and why are you going looking for her? And you've got to answer me that. I've been extremely helpful.
Like I said, we just want to make sure that she returns home safe. And as to who I am, I'm somebody that you don't particularly want to learn the name of. So, that being said, I'm going to take my leave. You have a great night. Maybe don't tell anybody about this. Just say some kids were messing around and broke a window on accident. Anyways, have a great night preparing for your date, and I hope your whistling comes along well.
He's like looking at you and looking around and looking and he looks like he's looking. He looks like he's like trying to give me like a perception check.
Okay. 3.
Okay, you think that he's just like annoyed. You think he's annoyed that that any of this interaction happened. Like he went from being like, tell me who or whatever, to be like, now good riddance.
Yeah.
Like annoyed about it.
I think I'm gonna exit out through the window that I came in and just, kind of hop on out and just be like, anyways, thanks for your help. Don't have to worry about her. We're not going to do anything weird. I mean, she is a friend after all.
Okay, so, you are. So, what are you doing right now?
I'm leaving through the window.
You were still talking to him, and then you're gonna turn to leave out the window?
I think that as I'm trying to get out of the window, I am saying this to him, but I'm keeping my eyes on him to make sure that he's not doing anything funny.
Okay, as you are kind of walking. Actually, roll perception.
Okay. 20, not
Frickin' good lord. Okay, you for sure hear something directly outside the window.
All right. Can I tell what it is?
It just sounds like, you got a 20?
Yeah.
It sounds like someone was making some noises and then maybe heard you voice get slightly louder as you approached the window and then stopped what they were doing.
All right.
Roll insight real quick.
Yeah. 19.
The only thing that could maybe be that is in your mind. So there are other possibilities, but this is for sure one of them. Fingers said that he was going to come in later on.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that it could just be Fingers and he's just trying to figure out what's the haps before he jumps in.
Okay. I'm going to stealth up to the window and try and like peek out without being seen to see if I can see like who it is.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, okay. So you get there, and the reason you can tell that this worked is because you hear the sound kind of start again. Mm-hmm. It kind of starts a little bit as you get closer, and then it kind of like stops, and you stop, and all is quiet.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll something real quick. And you're gonna peek?
Yeah.
Are you peeking? Okay. Roll perception for your little peek.
Okay. Unnat 20?
Okay. Yeah. You see someone who you recognize from walking to the liquor store earlier today. The individual whose attention you briefly caught, perhaps. And the reason that you think that is because it is for sure a winter Eladrin.
Yeah.
You can only see sort of an ear, a side of the neck, the back of his head, as he is sort of positioning himself beneath and slightly to the side of the window for reasons unknown.
Okay. Great. How easy would it be to exit out of the front door and then get to that side?
I mean, you could totally do it. Thalen right now is like near the front door and he's like, I'm scary and I'm scared. You know, like he's like getting his crap together and stuff. The problem is Thalen. Like, I mean, whatever this individual is trying to do, you don't know. But if you're trying to be sneaky about something else, there's a chance that especially if you're approaching that direction, he will give away your position by being like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you going over here? And you have no basically way of making sure he doesn't do that.
Okay. I'm going to go to the other side of where the other window is on the other side of the building.
Okay. Are you going to stealth over there or are you just going to walk? If you walk, there's a chance that this person will hear that you were going somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that I'll stealth.
Okay.
19.
Okay, so you frickin' disappear. You little light tippy-tappy feet.
Yeah.
And the room that you'll have to get into, there are two rooms. There's either a room that looks like it was just previously being slept in and someone threw the door open and you walked out, presumably Thalen's room. And the next room is, I mean, you know Galen's name, but it is another bedroom, so... Okay. You could maybe put two and two together.
Whichever, and they both have windows?
Yep.
Or okay.
They each have a window.
Which one's closer to me?
Well, roll. Thalen's is closer.
Okay. Would he notice with my 20 that I'm going in there?
No, he does not notice. He thinks, because he was kind of like getting his crap together, he saw you at the window and then he looks down and looks back up and you're gone. So He's like, okay, he left out the window.
Cool. I'll go into his and then just unlock that window and crawl out of that one.
Okay. Roll a perception check before you do that.
Okay. 14.
Okay. You don't see anything of note.
All right. Is the street clear? Like, or is
it's
there...
an alleyway.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can roll for that too. We'll see. It is super clear.
Okay.
You feel a sense of peace about how clear this Nat 1 dangerous street is.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna unlock and hop on out.
Yeah. Actually, there was a police officer who was gonna go down that street, and you hear him be like, you know what? I trust that there's nothing wrong here, and turn tail and walk out. You're gonna jump down?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then I'm gonna make my way around. He's uneasy about it, but he's like, I'm not actively stealing, so I guess I'll just walk around back to...
You are actively stealing, aren't you?
Well, like...
In the process of...
Yeah.
Oh, like...
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
He's like, I'm just walking
sense. I'm just a thief who's walking around, and there's no cops, and we're chilling. Which way around do you walk?
Is there the kind of... I want to stealth if there's a way to get to where I had entered quicker.
Are you trying to avoid the guy?
I'm trying to see like what he's doing.
So I'll tell you kind of what you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
The liquor store is a square.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a front and a back. The guy is with the window that you were just at is on one side, and the window you just left out of is on the other side. So if you go around the back, you will have to walk past him. If you go in front, you will not have to walk past him, but you won't see him because he's in an alley, so he'll be blocked by the other building. So you can either pick around him and try and be really stealthy, or you can pick in front, and then there's no chance he'll be able to see you, really.
Yeah.
But it would be much harder, but you can't see him either.
I think, actually, I will go where he won't be able to see me at all, so I won't be able to see him.
Okay.
And I'll go to Fingers and, like, kind of meet up to where I last saw him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll stealth then.
Okay. 22.
Okay, I'm going to roll perception. I'm sure you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Cool. So you don't see him at all. You can kind of like tippy toes, sneaky walk. I'm going to roll and see if there's any cops. Well, you already got that now. I'll roll it with disadvantage. Any cops around? There's a cop.
Okay.
He's walking kind of straight down the middle of the road.
Okay.
You said you rolled a 22?
Yeah.
I want you to tell me how you make it so this cop does not see you.
Okay.
Well, it is a street. He is walking straight down and you are walking across. What do you do to not be seen?
Is there anything on this street at all that I had?
Most of the people since this conversation took a good amount of time. It's probably about like 5:45, 6 o'clock by now. Most people are like inside or just like there's even fewer people around. There are like trees and plants and stuff, like, you know, on the sidewalk there will be like a tree in a city. There's some just general like posts that have torches lit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use Thaumaturgy to make a sound behind the cop of somebody being like, "Hey, we need police! Somebody help!" Like,
what's the range of Thaumaturgy?
30 feet.
He's too far away. You could make a sound in front of him. I'll give you some kind of flavor to this. I mean, you basically, I think in terms of options, you could just run really fast and hope he doesn't see you. The thing is, I'm going to have you roll whatever this is with advantage, and he's going to roll perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
So whatever, you know, whatever. And the better idea you come up with, the higher the DC is going to be for him to reach.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, like, you could literally just run really fast and hope he doesn't see you to keep it not, you know, complicated. You could try and just look like a regular person somehow. I mean, you're all dressed in black, but if you can figure something out.
Yeah.
You can hide, wait for him to pass. You can do, you know, some acrobatics, like there are poles with fire or something. You could take a torch and throw it, set something on fire, you know, all
yeah.
the things.
And you said that there's some like trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that he's gonna like kind of hop up into a tree, like, you know, like just a couple little branches up, just to be in the leaves a little bit.
Yeah, they're not ridiculously tall, but they would be out of eye line reasonably enough. Yeah. So good. Roll acrobatics.
Okay. 11. Not
okay.
Great.
Roll stealth.
Okay. 13.
We'll roll his perception with disadvantage. Okay. You're fine. He got a 2. So you're like, you got a 14 and a 2. So you kind of like scuttle like this tree. You were like, I've seen trees before. They can hold my body weight. But you are encumbered with alcohol and rings, and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back enough to be like, oh gosh, I gotta kind of like scuttle up this tree. So you're kind of like, you know, fingernails in the bark, and it takes you a couple extra seconds, but you are safely in the tree, out of the eyesight of this cop. And so he's just gonna like spinning his freaking thing. But he's 50 feet away. So it's gonna take a second or two for him to walk past you.
Okay.
And roll for me a perception check.
Okay. 12.
You hear behind you the sound of a bow being drawn.
Shit. All right. Fuck. Can I?
So when you hear that, the cop is now, we'll say, let's see, one turn is 30 feet of movement, and if that was the cop's turn, then he would have been able to make it. So he's 20 feet away from you now. But that's maximum movement. So we'll say he's walking. So we'll say he's 15 feet. So he's 35 feet away from you now.
Okay. So part of this little Thieves Guild outfit, just so that I'm clear, I have on the face mask thing. I have on, like, a cloak. Was there any other part of the Thieves Guild outfit that I adorned that would be very, like...
resistant to arrows?
No. That would be, like, if I took off the mask and the cloak and then hopped out of the tree, would he be able to tell that I'm part of the Thieves Guild?
He would tell you're tiefling, which
well,
is arguably worse.
I mean, I do have my hair in front of my face.
Yeah, I'd say I'll let you roll performance to pretend to be something that isn't a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Nat 1, bro.
All right. So this is what we're going to say. You go to take off your Thieves Guild duds.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to take off the balaclava and kind of arrange your hair
mm-hmm.
so that it whatever. And you go to take off anything else that would for sure pin you as a Thieves Guild person. And you get a little slipped up because you're in a frickin' tree.
Yeah.
So when you go to take off your, like, coat, your cloak, out of your pocket spills, one after another, a series of beautiful golden rings. Plop, 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 plop onto the ground. The cop, who did not previously clock you, sees these rings falling from a tree and is like, interesting that that's happening. And as that sort of happens, you get a little freaked out about it. You go to kind of wriggle out of the rest of your outfit, and you've just for the Nat 1, you've given up on taking it with you.
Yeah.
You're leaving it in the tree.
Yeah.
You're gonna go out in your friggin' undie pants. And as you go to do that, you just kind of, like, release all of the clothing at once. It gets caught up in one of the branches.
Ugh.
And you are hanging in the branches by your cloak after having dropped a pocket full of treasure from the heavens.
Oh, fuck.
So, that's where you are. The cop is gonna see the rings. Let's see how frickin' stupid he is. He's a very smart cop. He's gonna see the rings and go, I never seen a tree what made rings before. And he's going to start looking up towards you. And before he can do that, you hear rustle, rustle, rustle. As he kind of looks up into he's like looking up, you hear that noise, and it's coming from the place that you heard the bow being drawn from.
Okay.
It sounds like someone is trying quickly to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And you hear behind you can't turn around to move at all. You hear behind you, wait, stop. These guys, they just beat me up, sir. They were like, these, like, two thugs, and they ran that way. Can you help me get them? I'm kind of, not in a position, whatever. And the cop was like, 2 thugs, you say? Well, actually, let's see if he buys them.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Okay, the guy goes, oh, you thought someone beat you up? Just point me in the right direction. I'm right after him. On me plates up the frog. Cockney rhyming sling. And he's just like, they're that way. They're up there, yes, sir. And then the cop is like, you can hear, like, cartoon footsteps, like, Scooby-Doo run. And he just, like, beats it. I'm okay, you my citizen, whatever.
Jesus Christ.
You're hanging up in this tree.
I'm gonna try. I'm, like, wriggling, trying to get out.
Cool. So as you're, I'll let you roll. We'll say acrobatics because you're really in there.
15.
I'll roll for the tree. See how powerful the tree is. You just barely slip out of your cloak as this person rounds the corner.
Yeah.
And you're for sure now that this is the same guy that you saw before.
Yeah.
A winter Eladrin, not super a whole lot of them in these parts. And the only thing about him is that he's not looking so hot. You didn't realize this when you saw him before. This is the only thing that makes you kind of take a second look is he was really far away, so that maybe this was a thing before. But he looks like he got he absolute crap kicked out of him.
Oh, shit.
Like, he has 2 black eyes. His nose is probably broken. And these look like things that, like, he did his best to fix so that they are, like, stopgap. Like, I'm going to get to a place where I can do something about this, and that is not now. He has a very obviously broken arm. He just looks like he just frickin', his lunch got ate by somebody. And he kind of comes around the corner. He's kind of like limping, looking absolutely like miserable. And he's got, just also for your reference, he has a light crossbow on his back. Well, actually, no, he would have it in his hand. So it's in his hands. He's walking around. He's kind of like, he's aiming it at you, but sort of like, I only have one arm and everything hurts, kind of, sort of. So as you kind of hit the ground, he's pointing the light crossbow at you and he goes, "What's going on, mate?"
I've wanted to, avoid issues with people getting hurt and all that.
You're pretty talkative for someone who's about to die, and he, like, picks up the thing a little bit more. And
right. Tavumile.
He's, like, narrowing his eyes. He's, like, his eyes get real big, and then they get real small. And he's gonna, like, really kind of assert his grip on the crossbow and be like, "Maybe we should have this conversation in private."
I think that would be a good idea, but unfortunately we do need to invite somebody else. He also knows Tavumile, so I mean, being a part of this conversation.
I figured he would.
Huh?
He's like chuckling mirthlessly, and he's like I said, "Follow me." And he's not turning around. He's fully just backing up with a crossbow trained on you, and is just backing into the alley where he was before.
All right, can I at least pick up these rings first?
I suppose so.
Thanks. Scoop them up, and I follow him.
Yeah, he says it like, "This is so not important. Why are we?" Yeah. So he's gonna kind of walk around, and you're following him kind of around. So he's still kind of walking backwards, looking, over his shoulders. Still got the crossbow trained on you. And you're going to go into the alleyway, and you're going to go... So it's the back of the buildings face each other. So on another street is another storefront that is... The doorway is facing the opposite doorway of this one. So it's like an alley, and then there's a back alley. Yeah. And one of the buildings has a fence around it, and the fence has a hole in it. Okay. And he's going to kind of like, give a little cursory glance just to make sure nobody's around. Okay. So... the only things that he sees, he's not like, he's just like looking around like that because he's so focused on you. Yeah. You can check and see if you want to
make a perception check to see if Fingers is following. Because he was supposed to be watching me. Right. 20, not Nat.
Fingers is nowhere. Okay. It is as though like there's no like, you hear like a little squeaky roof tile. Yeah. You don't hear anything at all. The only thing that is of note to you is that, there's nothing even that would have been of note to you. He's not anywhere. So you're gonna
training me, Jesus.
You're gonna walk backwards through this fence, through the hole in this fence, he's going to kind of like get small and like duck walk backwards. And he's like, ow, every bone in my body is broken. They walk backwards through that. And then he's going to like go around the corner. And you just see a hand kind of like beckon you forward and the tip of an arrow, like a crossbow bolt.
All right.
And you see one other thing. Roll a perception check.
7.
You see movement on the other side.
Of the fence?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make an insight check as to what that is? Or is it just him?
You don't know. I'll let you make an insight check.
Okay. 7.
You're pretty much assuming that it's just him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I follow through.
Okay, so you're gonna go through the fence hole. And you have to get pretty small. This person is relatively tall, as are you. So you both are just like, wow, great place I picked for this to take place at. And you kind of like can't like bring your head up. You have to duck your head down in order to get your body through. But once you get to the other side, and this person kind of moves something in front of the hole, you pick your head up and you see fingers on the other side. And he is not conscious.
Oh, shit. Oh,
he is taking some sort of nap. He is, however, let me put it this way. He's not completely unconscious because he's kind of like, you know, when you move in your sleep.
Yeah.
So he's like doing one of those, but he's like dead to the world pretty much. So.
Honestly, from what I heard about Tavumile, I did not expect her to be garnering the attention of somebody like you.
Don't say her name. You don't know anything. That? You don't know. What are you two?
We're just trying to make sure that she comes home safe.
Oh, bet. And he's like, freaking shakes the freaking thing.
Why does nobody believe me when I say that?
Thieves? Why does nobody believe thieves?
Does she have anything of note that would be worth stealing?
And he's like, oh no. He's making you can roll insight to see. Yeah.
Nat 20.
Okay. He like craps his pants. Like not really. He is injured and not feeling great. So he doesn't really have the wherewithal to create any sort of emotion that isn't the one that he's experiencing. And so it's not that he looks at you with like shock that you said that. He looks at you with like annoyance that he's like, of course she does. What are you talking about? Like he's just like like you get the impression that he's about to say, of course, you idiot, don't you know that she farms water clary? And then like he's about to say that, but you talk before he gets it out.
Right.
Well, you don't. Yeah. Well, you know that also too. So yeah. So he's like, so you see, sort of, my problem. But listen, earlier I saw you two walking down the street to this place, and I heard you say her name.
Yes.
How do you know her?
I don't know her. I've never met her. That one, the one that you should be asking questions to, does. But unfortunately, apparently, you've done something to him, and
no donut.
Yep. You've kind of lost your way to know what's going on, because I hardly know what's going on. I'm supposed to be training. It's my first day, right? It's my first day being a thief, and
his like corner of his lip kind of like goes up, and he's like, okay.
He was supposed to be training me, and he decided to take me on a personal errand instead. And what I know is that he met her while she was on her way to town. He was concerned because she said that she's never been to town before, or at least, I don't know, something like that. He was afraid that we met some guy, scented, I think. He was supposed to be with her, and he wasn't, and he was convinced that she wanted to come into town to go to the ball.
Oh, that's what he thought. Why on earth would he... Oh,
so you know Scented?
Yes, I know him. I don't know why I'm telling you any of this, but I'm not really in a position to not do that. Yeah, I know him, and he's an idiot.
Right.
He's a known idiot. I didn't realize that.
What I know is that Fingers is afraid that she's in danger.
Fingers?
That guy over there. If you laugh at his name, I'm going to get very angry. We have become very close friends.
In one day? I don't get it.
You don't need to.
Okay, listen, I don't have time for this. You were in there asking the little sissy boy about where she was.
She really was, wasn't he?
Focus!
Sorry.
You were asking him about where she was. Did you find anything out?
Not really. I mean, he is, I guess, going on a date with her at 10:01 a.m. tomorrow. He was with some lady, bought something, and then left. And he said that he thought that she was going home, which apparently, I guess not if you're here.
Yeah.
And
She's
I guess not
definitely not at home.
Yeah. Well, look, from what I've learned, she's the friendly type, and she's not very smart. You know, she made friends with Fingers. He did not go into details about that, but he's concerned about her, and he just wants to make sure that she's safe. Look, nobody knows that we're doing this except for you, apparently.
But how did they find out where she lived?
What do you mean?
He's gonna, like, look at himself and look around and be like, why do you think I'm here?
Look, maybe because she was gone and you were concerned. I really don't know.
Yeah, I should be so lucky. You know who else is gone now?
Who?
Her mum.
Right.
So I want you, and he's gonna get close, and he's gonna be like, I want you to tell me what you know. I want you to tell me why they know where I live. Where she lives.
I just told you what I know. I don't know anything else. If he was awake, he could tell you more.
Dinosaur.
Can I, like, go up to him and try, like, kind of make motion to him that I'm not trying to do anything funny? Like, make motion to Lucian that I'm not trying to do anything funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And try and wake up Fingers, like, slap him or something. Just try to be like, wake up! Dude, this is the worst time to be like this.
Yeah, he's not gonna, like, stop you. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try that. What would this stat be? Medicine?
Yeah, I'll let you do, like, if there's, like, a knock him awake thing.
9.
You don't have to worry about him. He'll wake up soon enough. I mean, the thing I gave him, usually it takes longer to wear off, but, you know, what is this guy anyway? And so he's going to, like, reach out and try and take off his...
Please, don't do that.
Is it like a... I mean, you're not wearing yours anymore, but I guess desperate times is like a thief thing or something?
Sure.
Can't show anybody your face or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just very... you know, he's deformed. And he's just very self-conscious about it.
I don't think that...
It matters. He's my new friend, remember. Look,
I mean, you know...
This is the guy that you're going to get more information out of, if anything.
Well, listen, he's coming around soon. I can tell you that. I'm shocked.
What did you give him?
You know, just something to relax his nerves. He gives you like a wry look. He's looking at you like, why is this relevant to you? He's a medic, so he's like some dipthmol. What's it to you? You know what I mean?
I just want to make sure that he's not gonna die or something.
Of course he's not gonna. I'm a healer, okay? I'm not gonna kill anybody.
Can you heal yourself? You're looking pretty rough.
Yeah, if I had lots and lots of time, I'd get to work on it. It's
what
not the
happened
point.
to you? Why are you even here? If
I told you, listen, the last place I knew that Tavumile was here. She was coming here.
Right.
Some, you know, stupid, evil, high elf monsters decided to come raid our farm and take her mother. So what am I supposed to do? I've got to come find her.
High elves? Alright.
Of course. I mean, you would imagine those, and then he like launches into a string of
Look, I don't care
expletives
about what you think about them. Alright, she came here. How did you know that she was here?
she told me, well, no, she told me that she was going to go find a gift at the general store. I knew that Semfit was going into town today, so when he wasn't there, she didn't come back. I sort of had it in the back of my head, and I was, maybe going to do something about it, when all of a sudden they showed up, and they, and I tried to stop them, but I couldn't, and so I came here.
All right. Look, okay. What I know is that on her way here, she met Fingers, who, how they've met, I'm not very clear on, but they became friends. According to him, he's rather quite concerned. He doesn't have very many friends. It's me and then Tavumile, from what I can gather. He had to leave her in the middle of the street, which I'd already scolded him about. I told him, really, you're concerned that she's lost, but you're the one that kind of abandoned her in the middle of town. He didn't mean to do it. A cop was around, and, if he got arrested in front of her, they probably...
Can you get to the point? Like, time is of the essence.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have knocked him out if time was of the essence. You were gonna have to wait for him to wake up. I don't know where she is.
Morning, guys. What's going on?
Oh, finally!
What's happening? Hey,
Hey.
Wow, my head hurts.
Fingers?
Oh,
Hey, Fingers?
my gosh.
I really need you to get it together. I'm gonna, slap him.
That was a good nap. What was that about, man?
Do you not see what's happening here?
Whoa, there's a fence. Oh, hey. Do we know this guy? We don't know this guy.
I mean, I guess I do now.
Hi, it's nice to... You know Tavumile. You know who she is? Yeah. No.
Yes, we do.
Who's asking?
Yes.
We do?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Still, who's asking? I don't know if she would have mentioned me. My name is Lucian. Losing her mind on the other side. My name is Lucian, okay? I am the medic of the district where Tavumile lives. And I'm like a family friend sort of thing. I took care of her mother, who is sick. I don't know what she told you. I don't suppose it matters at this point. So that's who I am. Her mother was kidnapped. I don't know who by, other than the bloody high elves. And I tried to stop them, and I couldn't, if that wasn't evident. And so I'm here to try and find out where she went off to. I was hoping she would just be, on her way back with Semfit, and this was sort of a coincidence. Somehow she was not there when this happened, but it doesn't appear to be so. So I'm trying to find out what you know so that I can find her. And I can find out who did this and why and how they know this, know where she lived. So, what do you know about her? Oh, jeez. That's really heavy, man.
Fingers.
Wow.
Oh my god. Look, you're gonna do this for 5 more minutes if you do this.
Does your arm hurt?
Fingers.
It's not
Fingers.
important.
Can you please just tell how you met her up until everything, until you left?
Look, she was going to town. She was trying to buy a stiff drink for the king, and then she got kidnapped, and
she got kidnapped.
I mean, it looks like it.
What?
It looks like it. I mean, where else would she be? You can tell that he's speculating.
Yeah.
It's not like he knows something about it that nobody else does. He's just like, something happened to her.
She went to the liquor store and bought something with somebody. At least I know that.
Well, yeah, but I guess she could be okay.
She's supposed to go on a date with somebody tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Lucian is like, when he's like, she got kidnapped, he's like, well, do you know that for And he's just like, well, I mean, what else could have happened? Maybe she's dead. Maybe she's dead.
Listen,
what
I
if
don't
she's
think
dead?
that. I think he's freaking out. He kind of has a crush on her.
Freaking Lucian, like, backhands, fingers, boom. Thanks. I needed that. Okay. So I was gonna take her somewhere, but then a cop showed up and I had to run away. She only told me that she was coming here to buy liquor for the king for their meeting, and then I didn't hear anything else. The only reason that I know that I went to check on her because she was really nice, and said that she hadn't come back yet. She was probably gonna go to the ball. Right? And he's like looking at you to like back up what he's saying.
Yes, that is what happened.
So that's all we know. So did you find out anything inside of the place?
Yes, I mean there was somebody in there, and I talked to them. His name's Thalen, I guess.
Yes, it appears that he was gonna go on a date with her the next day. So,
I guess.
And you said that she was with a woman.
Some high elf woman, I guess, some noble woman.
Do you know? I mean, we could go have another conversation with our friend, but as much as I would love to do that, did you have any reason to know like who it was?
Well, I did look at the register, and the only thing that was of note on their documentation was there was a Lady Gwynth who bought something that, I mean, all of it looked rather fancy to me, but this one, I guess, seemed more so. But there wasn't payment put down. It was just crossed out.
It's weird. Did you by any chance find any water clary in there?
I don't know why you're saying it quiet, or like the rest of our conversation is being heard by somebody. No, I'm 2 of the boxes I could not get into. There were 4 lock boxes. One was very big, which I'm assuming is probably where they keep all their cash.
Oh, you think like she paid with it? I mean, I don't know why else. That's the only thing I can think of. She might have done that, if it was that expensive. Unless this lady bought it for her.
From what I've heard, she's not very smart, right? I've been told that by Thalen Fingers.
I mean, I feel bad for hear you say it, but yeah.
Alright. Would she know to do that? Would she know it's worth?
I mean, no. The only thing I can think is that if she's with a noblewoman, I mean, she's not smart enough to keep it sort of under wraps.
Right.
So unless she was sort of guided, but if you didn't find any, then we don't even know if she was in this store. I mean, other than, I guess we do.
Thalen said that she was there, and that there.
Look, everybody, relax.
Right.
All we gotta do. Didn't you come from Water Clary Land? Don't you have any on you? And like Lucian is like, oh, me? Like whatever.
Yeah.
I might, just in case. What's it to you? And he's like, well, I know what you can use it for. Why not just use it to find out where she is? I mean, it could at least give us a clue. And Lucian is gonna like fix him with like a stare. And he's gonna say, no, we absolutely can't. We can't use it. It's dangerous. Fingers is talking about using it for its intended purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Like smoking it or however to like use it to scry. Yeah, you see.
I see.
Yeah, so he's like, why don't we just smoke it? I don't know how you do water clary, like however you do it, inject it. And Lucian is just like, we're absolutely not doing that. It's dangerous.
Look, how much do you care about Tavumile?
Look, you look at me.
I'm looking at you.
I'm the one you need to talk to. Listen, it could take 1 time, it could take 100 times.
Right.
If it wakes up, you're done for.
What?
If you take it.
Right.
If you use it.
Right.
and you wake it up.
Let's stop being cryptic here. Wake what up?
The Dream Eater.
What?
I've seen what it can do to a person. I'm not going to let that happen to anyone else.
He's like rubbing his forehead. He's like, look, have you already smoked some? You sound insane. What are you talking about? The Dream Eater.
Have you ever used water cleary before?
No.
If you use it for its intended purpose, if you use it for its unintended purpose, if you put it in your body in any capacity, eat it, whatever, there's a monster. It's like a creature, and it wakes up, and it will eat your dreams. Don't look at me like that. I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen it before.
Have you seen it before because you've used this before?
I haven't used it for me.
Who have you used it for?
And that's where we're going to end this episode of
Jesus Lord.
So much happened. Remember when I was like, we're going to record for an hour. This will just be one episode. Turns out it's going to be 200 episodes.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, dude.
Dream Eater? Damn. This is we got our stupid idiot fun time. Haha, this is so funny. And then wow, this is hecka serious, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, with funny, hopefully, mixed in, hopefully. But yeah, dude, strap in. Listen, I had to connect stuff somehow, and the thing I used to connect it, a lot of people don't do this, but I like to use plot. So here we are doing that. So, yeah, tune in next episode to find out
what happens,
why Lucian knows this about that, as it were. I gotta go paint a chalkboard. Bye.
Bye.